Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. You already know what it is. It's Marshayla, Monique. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. Good in my mind, need to take a step out, get some air now, let your air down. So, I'm recording this video very impulsively. I didn't plan to record this video and I didn't know when I was ever want to post a video again. Whatever, I'm like stressing about how I look. It doesn't even matter. What even matter? Anyways, I wasn't sure when I was going to record again, but I was up reading a book and I don't really get much time by myself anymore. So I came into the office and I seen my camera. I was like, let me just see if it's charged. If it's charged, I'll make a video, but it's probably not charged because I haven't touched my camera in months. My camera was charged. I'm like, but there can't be space on it, right? There's 86 minutes on it. So I took a few notes of what I wanted to talk about as I make this video. And yeah, I'm kind of all over the place because this is just very impulsive and I haven't recorded myself in a long time and I barely even look at myself. So yeah, let's just start with where I've been. It is January 7th, 2025. Happy New Year. Nova is 5 months old. I'm a mom. I've been being a mom for the last 5 months, but I've really been a mom for a really long time. You're a mom as soon as the lines pop up on that test. So yeah, I've just been being a mom, and yeah, I'm just a completely different person, and that's really why I haven't recorded anything lately. Like, I wasn't that mom that just like hopped back into creating as soon as I had her and just like, you know, just like sharing a bunch of stuff. Like, I didn't share Nova until she was a month old, and that doesn't seem like that long, but people post their babies like fresh out the hospital and stuff like that, and I just didn't want to do that. So yeah, I've just been being a mom, and she was born August 6, 2024 at 10:57 p.m. via C-section. I love being a mom. I really do. I really love being a mom. It is the greatest thing on earth. It's such a beautiful feeling just having this little person look up to you and they depend on you, and it's great. But motherhood itself and postpartum has just been a journey, and 5 months really isn't that long. I still feel like she was born yesterday, and I will probably feel like that for a long time. But yeah, y'all, it's just a lot. There's so much I want to say, but I'm gonna try to stay organized because I got my notes. So yes, I will tell my birth story, I guess. So okay, so I gotta be honest, a lot of birth and the first few months and stuff like that is a blur. I don't really remember too much, so I'm just going to tell y'all what I remember, and I feel like I'm going to forget things, but bear with me. I'm doing my best. So Nova was due August 2nd. That was my due date. That's when I was going to be full-time. So that's when I expected to go into labor. So end of July, I wasn't really like feeling any like she was coming anytime soon. Like, I didn't feel that at all. I just knew that I was uncomfortable, I was tired, I was over it, and it was just a really hot summer. We didn't have air conditioning and it was just really bad for me. So end of July, I'm like, let me try to do everything I can to try to induce labor. And I'm not sure if I've said this in my other videos that because I did post the end of my pregnancy kind of, but yeah, I did the raspberry leaf tea, I did pineapples, I didn't do dates, I did walking as best I could, but she was so heavy that I couldn't really walk that much. It just wasn't happening. So I pretty much did everything, except for like the castor oil stuff. I wasn't doing that, but she wasn't budging. And August 2nd came and Nova was not here. So I think July 31st was my last doctor's appointment, and my doctor was like, we can schedule an induction if you want to. And I was like, no, like I just want her to come. Or no, my 38-week appointment, she offered to schedule me an induction. I was like, no, like I'll just wait for her to come. Like, you know, everybody wants to do the whole natural thing. I just want my baby to come. I don't want to get that epidural. Mind you, I always said I was getting that epidural. Some way, somehow, my file said that I wasn't getting epidural, and my doctor had asked me when I was 39 weeks, and I was like, change that, because if I go in there and they're like, well, you said, I'm gonna be mad. So my 39 or 40 week appointment, whatever, my son was like, yeah, we could go ahead and schedule this induction, but I was still scared. So this was July 31st, and she was like, girl, I will do a membrane sweep right now and I can send you into birth tonight. And I was like, whoa, no, don't do that. Like, I still want to like try to have her come naturally, but maybe we could do next week or something, because I think that was on a Friday, and yeah, she was due on, I don't know, I think Nova was due on a Monday. I can't remember. So yeah, I was like, no, like I'll wait, I'll just schedule an appointment for the end of the week, and that gives me time to prepare and stuff like that and get ready. So we go home and stuff, and I was bleeding because I had a cervix check, and those are just like really painful, and you can spot when you have a cervical check. So I'm like, okay, like that's normal, like I ain't even worried about it, like this happens all the time. I've been getting cervical checks since I was 36 weeks pregnant, so I wasn't pressed about it. So yeah, we went home, nothing really happened. That night though, I had a really bad contraction, and I got stuck in the bathroom by myself, and I couldn't breathe and I couldn't move, and I was up by myself, and it was really scary and it hurt really bad. Anyways, the following day they told me that I need to call in to schedule my induction, and I was like, oh, like I'll do it like whenever they're available. So the next availability was August 6th, and unfortunately my main doctor wasn't going to be available that day, and I really wanted her to be there, but you know, it is what it is. She was busy, even though she should have freed her schedule for me, but it's okay. So yeah, they said you come in at 5 a.m. on August 6th. We'll get you set up, and we'll get you on Pitocin, and we'll just start labor. Labor just going to be a process. They said you could be there up until 72 hours, like just like being in labor, or 48 hours just being in labor. So just make sure you pack accordingly, and tell me everything I need to bring for the baby and what I should bring for myself and what they provide and whatnot. So yeah, I'm prepared. So it's August 5th. It's like 12:01 in the morning. Nova's dead asleep. He's getting his rest, honey. And I'm just up, and I'm scared. Like, I'm so scared. And I just remember, like, I just couldn't sleep because I was so anxious. I'm like, I'm gonna meet her tomorrow. Like, I'm actually about to birth an entire human, and I'm terrified to do that. And I wrote a little bit in my journal. I still have my last entry. I wrote a little bit in my journal, and then I went to the bathroom and I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was really big, and I didn't recognize myself anymore, which I haven't recognized myself in a long time, just being pregnant. And I just cried, and I was just crying, and I had to get it out because I knew after I got these tears out, it's time to lock in. Like, you don't have no choice. Like, the baby's only coming one way. So I cried for a while, and I prayed, and I just spent some time with myself, and I was so scared. 5 a.m. comes, we get to the hospital and stuff like that. Like, I'm very anxious, but I'm very quiet. So yeah, I'm the type of person that when shit gets serious, I usually get quiet, or if there's a moment where I feel fear, I get quiet and I go within myself, and I visibly just look perfectly fine. So that's basically how I looked as we were going into the hospital and stuff like that and getting set up. I was just very calm, but I was so scared. I was so nervous. And we get to the hospital getting me set up. They get me set up on Pitocin. That IV hurt really bad. It hurt bad. My forehead. That hurt really bad. And then they have to do a cervical check, and I'm really big, and I'm hot, and I'm scared and all this stuff. They do a cervical check, they get me hooked up to everything, and they're like, all right, we're going to check your Pitocin I think it was every 1 to 2 hours. I can't really remember. They're going to up my dosage of Pitocin. But once Pitocin starts, Pitocin kind of like starts to give you contractions. So they had a little like screen that showed my contractions, stuff like that. I might have a video of it recorded. I'll show you. But yeah, my contractions really weren't that bad off the Pitocin. I was comfortable. I got to have a lot of liquids. Once you get on the Pitocin, you can't eat anything. So I was just drinking apple juice, orange juice. I had Jello, and then they kept giving me broth, but I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't remember the last time I ate. I didn't even have a big meal before I went into labor and delivery. I should have gotten a seafood boil, but I really wasn't hungry. I was just like really just trying to focus and lock in. So yeah, they gave me the Pitocin, and I think my Pitocin went up to like a 20. I think no, a 10. It was pretty high. I think around 6 or 7 p.m. is when I finally decided to get the epidural, because I was 6 centimeters, and 6 or 7 p.m. I was 6 centimeters, but I really wasn't in pain though. Like it was just like feeling like pressure, like a period. Like the contraction would come, it would feel like pressure, and then it would go away. It would come, it would feel like pressure, and then it would go away. So my contractions weren't horrible. I'm not saying the contractions can't be horrible, but mines were bearable. So I decided to get the epidural at 6 centimeters because I didn't want to wait too long, and then like possibly my contractions could have gotten worse. So I was like, I'll just get it, and I was able to stay still and stuff because my contractions really weren't that bad. But I think they try to wait, even if your contractions are bad, they try to wait when you don't have a contraction to do like the needles and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna say the epidural hurt. I would say the IV definitely hurt more than the epidural, but the epidural is not comfortable at all. You gotta sit up like real stiff and stuff, and it just wasn't comfortable for me. I also just like don't like needles and stuff like that. If you don't like needles, just know that when you are pregnant, you have to see a lot of needles. You have to get stuck a lot of times. So I get my epidural, my body immediately starts going numb, and I just start feeling like weird. And I don't know if everybody tells you this, but you have an epidural button. My sister told me this. If you feel like you are starting to feel your contractions, there's an epidural button that you can press to release yourself some more of the epidural. I think it only allows you to release it a certain period of time, but like if you need that, press that button. So yeah, so my legs started going numb and stuff like that, and I'm trying to like get relaxed. I think I like fall asleep, and time is just going. All I can do is really look at the clock. I have my family there and stuff like that. Like I have people around me, people are coming and checking on me, families coming to visit, you know, calling and stuff like, is she here? Whatever the case may be. So yeah, my nurse was telling me that when I started to feel pressure in my butt, that's when I needed to let her know that I might be close to 10 centimeters. So the hour of 7, I feel like I progressed pretty quickly. And the nurse came in, she broke my water. That felt like a lot of liquid just coming out of me. I couldn't really like feel it, but I just felt like liquid coming out of me. And now that I think about it, I might have got the epidural like earlier, maybe at like 3 o'clock, because now I think when I went in at 5, so maybe I got the epidural earlier. Maybe got it around 3-4 o'clock, because I started pushing at 7. So yeah, so between 3 and 7 is when I escalated to 10 centimeters. Also, in the midst of me dilating more, Nova's heart rate dropped, and it was the scariest thing ever. I had the epidural. They were trying to tell me to get up and move around and do all this stuff, and I couldn't get up, but they couldn't find her heart rate. But I really think it's because the nurse just kept like moving her around and putting monitors on, and it was just like too much for Nova. So Nova got out of sight. So that was pretty scary, because they were calling in all type of people to come and check me, and my family was running out the room, and it was just like really scary. I didn't know what was going on. They had to put an oxygen tank on me because I was like losing it for real. So yeah, they got me back comfortable. They found her heartbeat, and then at 7 o'clock I started feeling a lot of pressure in my butt. But I was really scared to say something, because I knew that I'm probably 10 centimeters right now. So yeah, at 7 they sat me up and I had to labor down, and I labored down pretty quickly. So I probably started pushing around like 7:45, 8 o'clock, and I walked in. I was ready, and you know, I started pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing, and you know, like it was just a lot going on. I could feel like the doctor like stretching me out and stuff like that, you know, trying to make room for this baby to come out. And then like after an hour or so, like they realized that Nova is turned the wrong way. So Nova's face is turned this way, so they're trying to turn her. They're trying to do everything that they can to turn her around. And another hour passed, and I'm like, okay, she's kind of moving, let's try different ways for you to push. So they're like, let's push on your side. So I push on my right side. I like am like my legs are like this, and I'm turning to the side, and I'm pushing like this while holding onto the bar. I'm like pushing. Did like 12 pushes on this side, did like 12 pushes on this side, and Nova still isn't really moving. At this point, I'm starting to get tired. So we're in our second hour and I'm still pushing. We're taking breaks periodically. We're going into our third hour and I'm still pushing. And Nova isn't moving. She's breathing perfectly fine. Her heart rate's fine. Everything is fine. But she's not budging. She's still turning the complete opposite way. So, yeah. I started to get like frustrated and scared, because I'm just like, I'm expected, like by this time they're like, you know, like she's about to be out, like I'm about to be, you know, like things are about to be going, like things are happening, you know what I mean? And they're not. So after the third hour, now it's time to have a conversation of what our next steps are going to look like. Are we going to continue to push, or are we going to start talking about a C-section? And honestly, I never thought about a C-section at all. Like it wasn't really discussed in my appointments. They weren't worried about anything. Like Nova has always been perfectly normal, besides little health things, but like that was mostly for me, but she's always been perfectly normal. So I had to be honest in that moment, and I was like, I'm really, really, really tired. I really don't want to get a C-section. I'm tired, I'm getting weak. I've already like used all of my strength to push for 3 hours. Like I don't know what I have left in me. I don't feel strong right now. So my doctor, I've seen her maybe once or twice. She was really sweet. She has 3 kids, and she was basically just like, I'm gonna talk to you like human to human, and I'm not going to force you to do anything that you don't want to do. But if we continue pushing for another hour, I don't think we're going to make any progress, and we're going to be at 4 hours, which puts the baby at a higher risk to be a stillborn, or we might have to rush into an emergency C-section. But she's not turning, and she's like, I can turn her myself, but she was like, I'll have to put my hand inside of you from here to here. And I'm just like, I can't do that. So my mom was trying to persuade me to not get a C-section. I'm like freaking out, because like I don't want to do this, but I have to get her here. By this time it's 10 o'clock, and like there's a lot of people in the room. The anesthesiologist comes and talks to me. My family's coming in and out. They're reporting back to the waiting room of family members that are waiting, and I'm just in the room, and I'm really just feeling like it's me, and this is all on me, and I'm just feeling a lot of pressure. So me and Mario asked for time for ourselves to basically just have a conversation on what we feel like is best for our daughter. And I just had a breakdown. Like it was probably one of my weakest moments, like during birth, because that's just not what I expected, you know. But in that moment I just felt weak, and I felt incapable of getting her here, and I was feeling a lot of things. Like it just wasn't good. Like it just wasn't good for me. So after I was talking for maybe like 10 minutes or so, my grandma actually called me, and she was like, Shay, like get the C-section, like you're going to be okay. Like I had a C-section before, and that was confirmation, because I really hadn't been on my phone that much during labor. So the fact that I had my phone for a second, and my grandma called me and was like, girl, just go ahead and do it, like that was my confirmation that I needed to, like, I'm strong enough and I can do this. So I was like, we're gonna go ahead and get the C-section. And I had to drink some liquid to kind of like clear my body out or something, and like take this medication so that I wouldn't like throw up during the surgery. And I took it and I threw up immediately because they were like, it's kind of nasty, but you can like chase it with something. I was like, I'll chase it with ginger ale. And I threw that up everywhere and whatever. Then I had to get the anesthesiologist had to come, and she had to, I'm like reliving this because I haven't really like talked about this in depth like ever, really, or not that much. So the anesthesiologist came and I had to be numb from like my shoulders down, so she was just explaining all that to me, signing paperwork and stuff like that, and I immediately went numb. And at that point, like, I was really scared. I really was scared because a C-section, like, you're going and getting cut open and you might lose a lot of blood, and like sometimes people don't make it at a C-section, sometimes people don't make it at a birth period. So like I'm just scared. So they lay my bed down flat and they wheel me out, and I literally feel like I'm in an episode of Grey's Anatomy. Like they're just like wheeling me, and all I can do is just like look up at the ceiling and just like pray that everything's going to be okay. But I am so scared. So yeah, I get into the room. They're like, he'll meet you in here, but we have to take you in by yourself first because there's certain things we have to do and whatnot. So they take me in there by myself, and I'm by myself, and they have to test and make sure that I'm actually numb. And I wasn't numb. Like I felt the first, like, so they took like a pin or something. They were like, we're just gonna go like this and like let us know if you feel it. And I'm like, I don't really feel that. But when she cut me open, like went for the first cut, I felt that, and she was like, oh no, you shouldn't feel it, it should just feel like a lot of pressure. But I'm like, no, I feel that. So they had to give me more medication to numb me a little bit more, because that's a major surgery, probably one of the most major surgeries, and I don't need to feel that. So they gave me, I think they gave me fentanyl or something, I don't know, they gave me something, and it took the feeling away and whatnot. They were asking if we wanted to like listen to music or anything like that, and we did say we wanted to listen to music, but I don't think we really did. Yeah, and then the surgery started, and it just felt like a lot of pressure and like movement and stuff like that. I feel like my body was just kind of just going like this, and it was just like moving stuff around, and then like it felt like she like jumped on top of me. Like it was just a lot of pressure. Pressure and pain are two different things, but they're kind of the same. I feel like our brains are so powerful that pressure can feel like pain, you know what I mean? So it was just really uncomfortable for me. And maybe after like 5 minutes, 10 minutes is when like they lifted her up, and she was 9 pounds 2 ounces. She was really big, and she was purple, but no was big. And they held her up, and I heard her crying, and then I didn't see her. They took her over and like gave her like shots, and then they let her dad cut the umbilical cord and stuff like that, but I didn't see her for at least a minute or two, and I felt like forever. And then they came and they laid her on me, but for some reason, because I had a C-section, I felt like I didn't immediately connect with her because she has seen so many other people before she seen me. So it was like she's just like laying on me, and I'm just like confused on what's going on, and like I'm still trying to like get my mind off of the C-section and stuff, because I can still feel them and I still hear everything that's going on. I felt like I was laying in a pool of my own blood, and I was like really tired. I felt like I was falling asleep, and I felt like I was going to die, so I couldn't close my eyes. And we're telling me like, you can close your eyes and relax. I was like, I can't. I feel like if I'm going to close my eyes, I'm going to die. So they get me closed up and whatnot, and then they're like, okay, we're going to take her, and she's going to go with her dad, and they're going to meet you in the room. Like you'll be able to go back to the room and whatnot. So I was in there by myself, and nobody was in there with me besides like the doctors and the nurses. And it was just cold. And I was just by myself, and I didn't know where Nova was. I didn't know where her dad was, and I was just like by myself. And in that moment, that's when I realized that, like, after you have your baby, it's like you're just forgotten about. You're just forgotten about. And I've never felt so lonely in my life. And sitting in our room after a surgery, and everyone's just having casual conversation like it's another day, but my life has literally been changed forever, and I'm traumatized forever. So to get me back together, I'm like feeling like I'm exposed to everyone. Like, everybody in the room can see everything, and I'm sure it's just another day for them, but it's just like my body is just laid out on this table and I can't feel anything. So they lift me up, they transfer me over to another bed. I'm still just like so delirious. And during the C-section, I was shaking a lot, so they had to strap my arms down because I was like shaking on the table. I don't know if I was having a reaction to whatever, or if that's a normal thing, but I was shaking so much they had to strap one of my arms down. Well, they strapped down both of my arms, but they let one go so that I can have my arm around her. But once I got back to the room, I was really shaking a lot. And that's when I was like really finally able to like meet her and stuff like that. And it was just, I wanted to have like a golden hour, an hour with just like me, Nova, and her dad to just like spend time with each other. But my family was so frantic in the halls, and I know that they didn't know what was going on and everybody was freaking out. But you know, like, I needed to like come to and like realize what was going on. And he was saying how much like I was shaking and I couldn't really speak that much, and I was coming down from like a really high, like I was coming down from a high of really coming back down to earth. But I was holding her and stuff, and you know, just like I had my eyes closed and I wouldn't open my eyes at all because it was just like, it was too much. So yeah, so Nova made her arrival at 10:57. I had 20 hours of labor. I think that's 20 hours. I can't do the math. I think that's 20 hours. 20 hours of labor, and I had a C-section, and the C-section was the most traumatic thing I've ever went through in my life. So I definitely do want to talk some more about postpartum and postpartum with a C-section, because that is completely different. But yeah. Once I got home, I think after you stay at the hospital for 2 days, maybe 3 days, it's not really a blur on my memory. It's just like, I've tried to push this so far into the back of my head, but I think you stay there for 3 days, and I was in a lot of pain. I have never felt a pain like that ever in my life. Like, that was really bad. I couldn't even stand up, and then they would have to come in every couple hours and push on your stomach, and like, you have to have your stomach pushed on no matter which way you give birth. But imagine having your stomach pushed on and you just had a C-section, and they're like pushing on your stomach to get the fluids out. Like, I get it, you got to get the fluids out of my body, whatever, but like, that hurted so bad. And I was so scared to take the medication that they gave me, because I felt like I was going to get addicted to it. I don't know. I feel like if you don't think that way, you're a tweak. But I finally took it maybe like the second day, midday, and I was like nodding off, so I stopped taking it. But they were like, don't be scared, like, don't make yourself suffer when you can take this medication and nothing will happen. You'll just feel better and it'll take away the pain. So I did take it for a while, but I was really scared. But that pain was just like unbearable. And then, yeah, we went home after the 3rd day, and I just started to have the baby blues, and I was just like, what the hell just happened? What did I do? What did I get myself into? Who am I? I look ugly. I literally hate myself, and I hate everything that I see in the mirror. So it was really hard, but my baby blues lasted a lot longer than the average person. I still kind of feel it now, and I'll explain that in a whole nother video. But yeah, when we got home, it was hard. It was really hard for me, healing from the C-section, still trying to get up and be a mom. Like, even in the hospital, I felt like less than, because I couldn't pick her up myself. I couldn't care for her myself. Like, I just couldn't do anything, and I felt like my body was just incapable because I wasn't able to push her out. And I know that's not true, but that's how I felt in the moment. But it was hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. But she's here and she's healthy, and I love her. Nova is the best. Like, Nova's the best. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, that was birth. Birth is wild. Birth is wild. And I be thinking, like, would I have rather had a C-section or got stitches down there? Both sound pretty bad, but the C-section literally felt like I got shot in my belly. But yeah, I'm still healing from the C-section, especially because Nova kicks it a lot. She's always kicking my stomach. Like, girl, you trying to set me up? Like, is there a problem? My scar is relatively small. You can barely even see it. Like, when I show people, they're like, oh, it looks so good, but like, to me, it looks insane. But yeah, I'm still healing, and you know, just trying to be better and feel better and try to use all the resources that I have to, you know, like, get myself, you know, feeling good. I know that I will never be the same, and that is a really hard thing to face. This new version of me, like, when I finally like reach my highest self, is just going to be completely unstoppable, and I just can't wait to get there. I just don't know when it's going to be. So I'm on a roller coaster right now. I'm not on any social media really right now. Like, I'm really just like taking the time to like really try to figure this out, because I feel like I had her and I really just tried to jump off the porch like really quick and just get back to normal things that I used to do, and I end up hating everything. So maneuvering that is difficult because you're so used to your old self, but like, your old self really doesn't exist anymore. I mean, like, you're still yourself, but you're not who you used to be. You know what I mean? So you have to relearn this version of yourself, and that's hard, because I was so excited to have her and just like feel normal again. You know what I mean? Because things change as soon as you see that pregnancy test. They change like this, and you carry the baby for almost a year, and then you have them, and it just unlocks a whole new world that you have to navigate. But it is the most beautiful thing ever. It is the most beautiful thing ever. Motherhood, parenthood is one of the best hoods, period. Like, I love Nova. I love her so much. Like, that is my girl. She's the best baby ever. And she is so I literally can't take it. Like, I love her. What the heck? I love her so much. she's just everything. She's everything that I could have ever imagined. And it's so crazy because, like, I just remember her kicking in my belly and seeing her on ultrasound and just like wondering, like, who are you going to be? She's a crazy girl. I feel good getting this out. And I don't know if I'm gonna make more videos. I don't know what the future holds for me. I don't know what the future holds for me. I don't know if I'll ever be on the internet again. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this. But we'll see where life takes me. I know that things will get better and I will feel better. But I'm really just flowing right now, you know? Just flowing. I have an interview tomorrow and I'm nervous because it's in person. Like, what the heck? Going back to work. Gotta get a job, gotta chase this back. I might make more videos. I don't know, y'all. We will see. But thanks for tuning in to another video. I don't know what it is to say. I know what it is, you already know what it ain't. And I may see you in my next video. Bye.